Hi, welcome back to the channel. So here we are in August, and I know it's been a little slow on my end getting new videos out to you guys lately, and that's just because I've been busy with a lot of stuff. Not really writing related, video related, or anything. Just been really busy and really exhausted. It's been a tiring summer, and I have a lot of plans have for videos. I just haven't had a chance to really work on any of them because again, it's just a lot of stuff. And one of the things I've been doing lately is I've been experimenting with AI music. And if you're new to this channel, normally I focus on writing topics and writing tools, things that help writers, either be more productive or have useful ways of getting their ideas down on the page in a way that's efficient. And I don't mean like AI writing tools. I still believe in doing that by hand, even though research I think is definitely something that AI will benefit among other things. We're going to talk about that some other time. But music is an area where I don't have a lot of skill. When I say I don't have a lot, I mean I don't have any, which is weird because I come from a family of musicians. I'm the only one that hasn't really picked up any kind of instrument. But generally speaking, my art is in writing and telling characters and all that. And I'm leaving this video because I want to let you guys know that one of my characters that I've been working on, or I haven't been working on, the characters existed for decade and a half now, but one of my novels that I had published on Smashwords back in 2015 was based on something I had started writing back in 2007, and which is based on a video game that I made back in 2000. It keeps going back. Eventually, you can predate all this stuff back to the early 90s when I did a comic book in high school when I was bored in calculus class. So ultimately, that comic that I was writing in calculus, because I didn't want to do math, eventually became all of these things that it's escalated into this crazy system of just media. And with AI getting more sophisticated, it's just been easier to explore areas that I really just couldn't crack in the past. And so what I wanted to tell you guys is I do have some plans to share some of my new work that I've been working on with AI music and all that at some point. But I want to alert you that the reason why I'm doing this is because, again, this character that I created all these years ago for my book, the superhero book, she's a rock star who performs a couple of the songs in the book. But when I created the character, I didn't really know anything about songwriting. And I really just kind of rendered the scene to the best of my ability to make sure that it sounded at least passable as, something that would happen at a concert. And I did it again for the second book with her second album. And then by the time I was ready to do her third album in a fourth book, so I guess there was a skip because of a plot point that happens in the second book. And I won't spoil it if you ever want to read the books, but I kind of got stalled during the third album songs because I knew what I wanted from a couple of the songs, but there was a point where I just couldn't really figure out anymore like how to crack this character in a way that was meaningful, because I didn't know her albums, I didn't know her songs on her albums, I didn't know anything other than the 7 songs I wrote across 3 books with lyrics that might have been fine, but again, because I had no way of testing them out with music, I don't know if they were any good at the time. And then also just having some snide references to other song topics, including one from book 1 where it's a song about garden gnomes, which at the time I thought was funny, but when it came time to think about, well, what would she actually be singing about garden gnomes, I actually had to come up with the title and all that. And so going back to a year exactly today, August 6th, or early morning August 6th, Suno, which is an AI music company, they released one of their earliest models, and I decided, well, I want to listen, I want to see if I can actually hear these songs and play out in real time. And again, these are the first 2 from the first book, so the first album. The first album is called Caffeinated. I wanted to put those 2 songs through the Suno system, and back then Suno is like those 30-second clips. You had to string them all together, pick options, and just a lot of the stuff that goes with AI. And I went ahead and assembled the songs, and I mean, the first song, called "A Legend of Funk," was pretty bad. It was couldn't even get this engine to play a female voice, because again, the character Cherry Chiclet is the name of her, is the name of the rock star. She's a, not a he. She, fiery red hair. Yellow spandex is like her signature, at least in the first album. not a husky voice, nothing like that. So, or certainly not a whiny voice. So that video, I eventually put that song together. And by the way, that song was like the first song that I wrote for her character at all, and that was part of the concert scene. That, again, it's in the book. If you guys want to, read it, you can get the book. But when I listened to it and I played it back, I thought, well, this is pretty awful and a really, really lousy way to experience my song for the first time. And then the same thing, there was a follow-up song that she does in the book called Slippin' on Cheesecake, which was actually a song I wrote years before I started the book. So that was actually the first song I wrote, but I forgot I had written it. So I technically it's the second song, but based on anyway. I ran that through. It was a little bit better output, but both versions were pretty awful. And the short end of it is I did put them on YouTube, but they're hidden behind. They're unlisted. If you really want to watch it, I can give you a link. But it's they're not good. They're pretty awful actually. And so point of that is I kind of gave up on AI music for the time being. So, I liked what it could do, but I didn't like the output at the time. And so, a few months go by. This is, again, last August. Several months go by, and eventually, the AI music group called Udio comes around. And this is back like late March, early April. And I don't think I did a video on them. I know there's a lot of videos out there, though, if you're curious about what they're about. But one of the channels I was watching, was mentioning that this had come out, and the output sounded really good. And I thought, well, let me look into this. And of course, meanwhile, I didn't realize Suno had innovated much beyond where they were from that previous August. So essentially, I had two different companies that were now actually passable. So after some evaluation, I thought, well, Udio is the better choice because it just sounded better. So I ran those same two songs through the Udio system. Again, 30-second clips. I had to do some stringing and some judgment calls and a little bit of creativity on my part to make it sound good. But turns out, like, it actually sounded really good this time. And I still have versions of those songs on my hard drive. And at some point, I want to share it with you guys. But I wanted to kind of circle back to why I'm talking about this. Why do I, why am I talking about AI music on my channel about writing? Well, I wanted to emphasize that, I know there's a major stigma with AI. Writers in particular, or artists in particular, they kind of hate it because they haven't figured out quite how to use the innovations, or maybe they have and they're purists. There's so many reasons why people love it and hate it. And I get it, and I get all the arguments, and I understand that there's a lot of controversies. There's a question, is it lazy to push a button? I mean, probably, I'm being honest, but also at the same time, I know from a creative point of view, like for me, I don't want to have to dream about something I'll never see or hear. Like, I want to actually see it and hear it. And I know what my skill level is. As an artist, I'm getting decent at composition, but when it comes to drawing, I still can't draw. Can't paint, can't do anything like that. And when it comes to music, I mean that's my extent of music skill, is I can make drums kind of sound okay. But when it comes to having a tapestry of audio, like, that's something I want experts to be able to do. Of course, they're expensive, and I don't have money. As you can see, I'm in my garage right now, and it's a mess because there's nowhere to put stuff. This is my library. No, it's not a library. I got the washing machine over here. So, needless to say, visions, dreams, long-term doesn't always get taken care of when there's so many barriers. And one of the things that's nice about AI is they call it democratization, but they are knocking down walls. So people like me, who have very little skill when it comes to music and art and all that, but still knows it sounds good, but can still write lyrics, or at least I think I can. It gives us something to work with. And going back to my character, I don't care about writing songs for the fun of it. I can listen to the radio if I want to just listen to any old song and actually have, a high quality sound with, professionals who go through studios and all that. But I created a rock star character for my book, and I want to know what she's singing. I want to know what she sounds like. I want to know, you know, I want to know the composition of our album, so I want to know what the first song is, second song, third song, and so forth. I want to know what our second album is. And so that's what I've been doing this summer is I've been making Cherry Chicle albums, from the first one called Caffeinated, and I just, as of yesterday, finished our fifth one called Immortalized. And I got 2 more that I want to pop out before I take a kind of a slight break. And then there'll be further, more down the road, but that'll be a different kind of context, which I'll talk about at some point. Maybe not today, because I think this video is already running long, but if you guys are interested in the character and what I'm doing, I'll talk more about it later. But the whole thing is like these albums, they're tying in with this long epic series I've been doing. It's a superhero story. It's a tennis player. He's targeted by a serial killer. He somehow finds out about this island where he can hide, because as a famous star, he can't really get witness relocation. It just doesn't work. People know who you are. But if you can find a place where no one can find you, then that makes things a little easier. So he gets ahead of the game after going through a crisis of trying to you essentially confront the guy. And that's part of the first book that, again, it's available now. But he eventually goes to this island where these, you have this whole kind of superhero foundational creation kind of thing. And I promise I wrote all this, back before the Marvel Cinematic Universe went screwy. So I started back in 2007, so it's been going on for a while. Anyway, one of the characters is a rock star, and I want to, her concerts are rendered out in the scene, and my plan is to do 7 concerts before the series is over. But her character will probably continue on into maybe a spinoff, and I might even thinking maybe doing the spinoff for all the albums. But again, being able to hear the songs, being able to know, what the character is, it's another way for me to engage with the character. It's another way for me to, better understand how all the pieces of my story works. Whereas before, everything was, it was limited, because like I could pretend I understood, but at the end of the day, it's still like empty air. It's like it's it sounds like that. Like I can have lyrics, I can have a title, I can have the name of an album, but it still sounds like or just really bad, nursery rhymes. Because that's kind of where my brain naturally goes to when I think of creating a song from scratch. But one of the nice things about AI is, if you start with the lyrics first, which you're not supposed to do, you're actually supposed to do with music first. I don't know if you all know that. But if you start with the lyrics first, what eventually happens is you're going to hear it badly. You're going to, hear the lyrics get smushed together. The songs won't sound the way they should initially. But when you start to understand better how the engine works and what the different voices are that they use and the musical styles, how to prompt in a way to get your song sounding much closer to what you think you want, or try a different version if what you think you want isn't actually that good. At some point, you're gonna develop a rhythm where now you actually can start writing lyrics according to what you think the song should be. And so it's kind of a weird kind of reverse engineering way of creating songs when you don't have the music skill that most of the professionals are brought up. And again, I still think that overall, like if you can get musical training from a professional, you should. I mean, it's worth having that skill, and using AI mainly for a supplement, not for the whole horse. But when you're an old guy who has spent decades not learning music and you just want to hear a good song that you wrote, and you have the option to do that now. Again, I mean, in times past, like that option wasn't there. If you wanted to write a song, sorry, you have to, hit the rock there, make a sound. But I mean, AI is making it easy for us to have all the visions we want. And so now you're probably wondering, like, why am I even bringing all this up? Well, on the one hand, I just want to say it's okay to use AI to help you with skills you don't have, as long as you know what your limitations are, and you still understand that it's not going to be the best version. At some point you may have a little bit of a, not an overlap of ideas, but at some point it's going to all start sounding similar. And I'm starting to kind of see a little bit of that now, after writing 5 albums. Although I got to say that it's pretty clever, like how wide and diverse this whole musical range can get. I mean, I had, we'll talk about that later. But so basically, why I want to do this video is not necessarily even to sell you guys on AI music or art or anything like that, or video, which I'm about to talk about, but just the idea that it's you don't have to be afraid of the technology that allows you to paint the canvas, or to build to come up with the visual ideas that you previously only dreamed about, and not have to spend a lot of money to do it. Will it be as good as a professional? No, and it shouldn't be. Professionals should still ultimately have the best versions, but they also take the longest amount of time, and of course they cost the most. But if you get like a mixer, a DAW, some plugins, there's a program called Melodyne, which I'll at some point I want to do a whole video on the breakdown. You can shape notes. You can actually take the output that the AI gave you, and you can reconstruct some of the ideas that didn't fully come out the way you want. Of course, AI also has it in painting now, so if a song sounds terrible, you can write over part of that song. And so I've been able to create songs that I like. That's the moral of the story with this part of it, is I finally can listen to Cherry Chiclets albums and they can sound good. Why now? Why wait until August and not talk about it back in April, when I was still, discovering what her albums were? Well, because, you probably are aware, if you're in the AI space, or if you know much about AI, they're starting to roll out the AI video, the good ones. Like they've had, again, AI video has been around for a while too, but it's been pretty bad. Well, now they've got, there's Runway Gen 3, which I have not tried, but that's on my list of things to try at some point soon. But there's a new one that just came out that's hit the global market called Kling AI, and I on a whim I just said, I'm going to try Kling. Let me just see how it goes, and I've been kind of hedging on it because do I really want to spend more money on another AI thing? And especially when this one probably is going to be more of a gimmick than anything. But I thought, no, let me try it. And in my research, I also found one called Hedra. I think it's called Hedra AI. And with Kling, you can take you can do prompting, and they can do a short 5-second video, but you can also grab a still image and make a video. And so if you go to Leonardo or Midjourney or one of those and feed that image into Kling, you can get a scene, a short 5-second clip, where you can extend it to 10. And this is where you can start to animate characters and or develop really interesting scenes. And I think maybe you guys are kind of hearing what I'm saying right now. Between that and Hedra, which it makes AI lip syncing possible, little glitchy, but possible. You can actually create a music video. And so so yesterday I got these programs. Well, I guess we're 2 days out now, and I took Cherry Chiclets' 4th album's title song called "Timeless," which is I think "Timeless" is my favorite album of the 5 so far, and it's got time. The song is. It's not my favorite song on the album, but it's a good one. And I was just impressed how this song sounds a lot like the album art I gave it, because I had created the album art long before I created the songs for the album, which is a weird backwards way of doing things, I know, but did that anyway. And the song weirdly sounded like it would fit that album and the art style that went with it. And the art style is kind of this kind of future green, kind of funky alien, like, it's just weird. And I took an old output I got from something called Dream, or Wombo by Dream. I was experimenting with some image crossovers for book covers, and I think it was Shell Out. I wanted to do something with green, and it came out really funky, but I thought that would make for a cool style that I would feed into Leonardo. And eventually I got this weird style mixed with realistic looking photos, and it turned into this really kind of crazy Mad Max future thing. So I took some of those that concept, and I created some more still images and some more headshots, and I fed them into Kling and Hedra, and I made a music video from Timeless, and it's full. And I want to warn you guys, it is the concept 1 is what I'm calling it. It is probably not the best version I can do, because I'm just learning how to use this stuff. And I'm sure there's better technologies that I can figure out down the road. And also, I really would rather go back to the first album and do some of the songs off that album as music videos. But because I was just experimenting because Timeless has the coolest art, in my opinion. I would just want to experiment with some of it, and it was going too well, you know, and I was having too much fun getting it done. And I eventually finished the video a little while ago, and I played it back, and I'm like, you know what? I think I want to share this with everyone. And my channel, you know, my biggest thumbs downs come in the AI space. I get a lot of thumbs up for my for all my writing tool videos and all that. But when it comes to the AI stuff, I know a lot of you guys don't like it, and I'm, you know, again, sorry that I'm kind of holding on to it. But again, I want to emphasize, it's not evil. I don't think it might be. It helps you kind of bridge the gap of your creativity, and kind of breaks away some of the limitations that you might not want to have. And yeah, there's a case to make for having limitations. I get that. Creatively, you know, having limitations force you to be more creative. I get the argument. I agree with that argument. But that's only good if you have the skills to still do it, right? If you're locked out of the ability to do any of it because you just don't have the raw skill to even start, that's a different story. That's not creative anymore. That's just, you know, how many years do I want to spend learning this thing so I can get one song in, you know, by the time I'm 70 maybe. I'm not waiting that long. So I did this music video, and I just uploaded it, and it's going live at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So it's just a video. There's no commentary on it. There's nothing in front of it, nothing behind it. It's just the video, 5 minutes. And I've been wanting to do this, you know, this kind of talking video for a long time now about this whole process. And I really was hesitant to start with anything other than The Legend Defunct, which is the original song from the original album. But again, I mean, if something is cool, why hold it back? And because the Timeless song, again, it's album 4, we're talking a long time from now before I'd ever get to it, even if I learn how to do this well. And honestly, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to not share it. And again, you guys may love it, you may hate it. I'm sure some of you will like it. Some of you probably will click off right away if you click on it at all. But I at least wanted you guys to know what it is. If you go to my channel and you see this, you know, weird, like, what is this thing? It's an AI music video. Not perfect. I'm not here to tell you it's the most amazing thing you're going to see on YouTube all day. It is not. It better not be the most amazing thing you see on YouTube all day, because, like, again, I put it together in 2 days, a little kind of hasty. I put some of my editing skills in there, but it's still mostly a concept per kind of a test, essentially. But it's a test I'm pretty happy with, and I just wanted to share it with you guys if you're interested. And so when you see it, you know, before you immediately say, "Oh, this sucks," just know what it is. Know why I'm doing it. And, you know, hopefully you guys are watching this first. I'm sure many of you won't, because these 2 videos are going to go out pretty close together. So I've already scheduled the other one, and this one I'm still filming. So, and it's already late, and I should be in bed by now. Is I going to be up in like 4 hours after having 2 hours? Never mind. I should really not. This is why I don't make videos anymore, because this is my day. I have too many times where I don't have time for anything, because it's just too much gets in the way. But yeah, part of it's because I'm making music videos. Anyway, that's what's going on, and at some point I want to do a video where I break down the process if you guys care. And again, it's not just hitting buttons. I am, you know, also trying to use mixers, and I'm trying to make the sound, you know, more my own. The more I get, you know, understand how it all works. But there's some links in the. I don't know if I'm going to have any links in this video. I think this is just a straight up talking head, but the one that's coming with the music video. We'll have some links to some of the software I used to make that particular video. And again, I plan to get a few more things, you know, as the technology improves. So, you know, I really want to go back to album 1 and start releasing the songs to you guys in particular, but really to anyone who wants to listen. And I've got album art that I've been creating, so I might even do a physical media. But again, I don't want it to be just straight AI, because AI, it all sounds, you know, the voices are all the same. It's the same 6 female voices, you know, that everyone uses. So the character may not be as unique as I would like, but there's something else coming out soon. I hope it's out soon. that can help change the way the voice sounds. So I'm hoping at some point I'll be able to do these all over again with a more signature sound. So it's kind of cool, all that's going on. But again, I can talk about that in the future. Again, this video is long already, and I just, again, I don't want you guys to go into the next video like unaware, and I don't want to waste that video's runtime on this discussion. So that's why you guys are getting 2 videos when you haven't gotten one in like 3 months. And again, if you're new to the channel, I don't normally do this. Maybe I should. If you guys like the talking head thing, maybe I will do more. But normally it's, I sit at my computer, do some screenshots, and, struggle with my microphone a bit, and, I get frustrated because nothing sounds right. And I'm sure you guys appreciate better sounding. And again, that's something I'm gonna work on soon, but it's a lot of extra stuff. And I want a nice simple video. I don't want to do a lot of editing tonight. So hopefully you guys are cool with all this, and I hope to give you guys some more content soon. I got some things I want to share with some software that I use, to help me kind of stay organized, which I think is pretty cool. So I do have some ideas that I've been wanting to do all summer, and I'm hoping that maybe I'll get around to it soon. So in the meantime, check out the video. I'm sure I've been talking so long, maybe the thing's on, dropped by now. But again, it's going to come live at 10 o'clock Eastern today, August 6th. The song is called Timeless. It's off of the 4th album, not the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. It's the 4th. It is my favorite album so far, although the new one I just finished is pretty good. But it's not to discount the others before. I like them all, but the 4th one is my favorite. And now I'm really looking forward to that part of the story where I actually get to write about it, because that's, again, circling back to the beginning, the whole reason why this all matters is because for the first time in 12 years, I started writing that chapter again that I had abandoned because I didn't know what more to do. And that was the scene at our 3rd concert. Well, now I know what the concert sounds like. So here you go. So that's it for today. Oh, and that's not for, it's it for this video. Again, there's another video coming. But thanks for watching to the end. If you got this far, like, subscribe, do all the things YouTubers tell you to do, or don't. Do what you want. I'm not your boss. Do what you want. And I hope you guys stick around for the next video that I do, and I will probably again be doing some more software soon. That's basically it. So I hope you all have a good day. If you don't, stick around, and go see what else is out there if you guys are binging on stuff. I've been watching a lot of that Brian George guy. He's pretty funny. So anyway, all right, that's it. See y'all later. Bye.